Hi, I'm Noko. Today we are doing a hips stretch and flexibility practice to improve the mobility in the hips. If you are new to my channel, subscribe by clicking the bottom right corner of the screen and scroll to the description below to check out my links. We're going to start on our mat, and today I'm going to be using a block later on. So if you have a block, that's great. Otherwise you can use books, thick books. So on our back, and I'd like to start with a few breaths of deep breathing. Let's place our hands on our belly, slowly inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose, breathing in, a bit more air in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Keep going with this breath, and with each inhale, see if you can expand the ribs and the belly, so you'll feel your hands moving slightly up and out. And on the exhale, allowing the belly and ribs to collapse. Inhaling, belly out. Exhaling, belly down. Breathing in and out. And one more like this. And back to normal breath. Let's open the feet wider than the mat. We're going to do some windshield wipers. We're simply going to drop the knees to one side on the exhale. On the inhale, knees come back to center. On the exhale, we drop the knees to the other side. Inhaling center. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. On the way down, see if you can press your thighs and knees deeper to the floor, feeling the stretch, maybe in the hip flexors, maybe in the low back. Inhaling. Exhaling. Keep going with your breath, making the movement as smooth as possible. One more like this. Back to center. Keeping the feet on the outside edges of the mat, we're going to keep working on loosening up the hip socket. So we want to keep the low back flat onto the floor and drop one knee towards the opposite ankle. You want to avoid lifting the low back of the mat. So keeping the low back pressing down. Again, you may feel the stretch right here in the hip flexors and deeper towards the glute and hip socket. Inhaling up. Exhaling out the knee down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Being mindful of your body. We don't want to force. You only go as far as it's comfortable for your body. If it's uncomfortable or painful on your knee, you're going too far. One more. Back to center. Preparing for figure four. We're going to flex the right ankle, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh, and from here pushing the right knee away from the shoulders. Some of you may feel the stretch right here already in your glutes. That's where you should feel it. If you don't feel it, you can bring your knee up, still feeling this knee moving away from your chest. You can even go deeper by threading your arm between your legs and interlacing the fingers underneath the knee and maybe pulling the knee in. You can also use a strap underneath your knee to hold your thigh. If your hands are just right here and you feel like you have to round your shoulders to grab the thigh, Just get a strap, get a towel, get a sweater to go below your knee and pull the knee in. Big breath in. As we breathe out, let's pull the knee in. Let's keep pressing the tailbone down, shoulders down. And from here, releasing the thigh, placing the left foot on the floor. And we're going to roll to the side. We're going to do a twist. So we scoop the hips to the left, crossing the legs, and rolling, allowing the legs to roll down. If it's too intense, different options. You can use a block, a pillow underneath your legs. You'll notice that your shoulders want to roll sideways. So we really want to twist, feel the stretch in the lower back and in the glute. If it's still too intense, you can just release your legs. Any option that works best for your body. You can extend the arms sideways, tilting the chin to the right. Knees are facing left, chin right. Pressing right shoulder into the floor. Reconnecting with the breath. At the end of your next exhale, slowly bring the knees back to center. Releasing the legs, knees to the chest, rocking side to side. Let's do figure 4 on the other side. We start by flexing the ankle. This will protect your knee. Crossing the ankle over the right thigh. We're going to keep the shoulders into the floor as we lift the right leg up. And possibly threading the needle, grabbing the right thigh underneath the knee, pressing the shoulders down. We keep feeling this left knee pushing away from the chest, right thigh pushing towards the chest. And you may feel the stretch in your left glute. The end of the next exhale, releasing the right leg, crossing the leg, scooping the hips to the left this time, and dropping the legs to the right. If it's too tight, too intense, block, pillow underneath the legs, or simply releasing the legs. Knees up, facing the right side. Shoulders are facing straight up. Chin is tilted to the left. Arms extended sideways. Focus on the low back. Really feeling the low back muscle lengthening through the twist. At the end of next exhale, bring the head back to center, legs back to center, knees to chest, rocking side to side. Opening the knees wide. And from here, just rocking side to side again. Back to center. See if you can pull those knees towards the armpits. So you press the knees up and down towards the floor. So up towards the shoulders, down towards the mat or the floor. circle the ankles. Reverse. Reaching the left leg out. Placing the arm underneath the right knee, pulling the thigh into the chest. As close to the chest as possible. So what I'm doing here, I'm grabbing my wrist on the inside and pulling it up towards the shoulders and at the same time into the chest. Feeling the stretch in the hip flexor. Switching side. Feet flat on the mat, heels close to the hips, extending the arms. Next inhale, lifting the hips, lengthening through the low back, lengthening through the hip flexors, squeezing the glute, the hamstring. So we're strengthening low back, glute and hamstring, stretching the front of the thighs. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly releasing. Knees to chest, rocking forth and back. Rolling to one side, using the bottom arm, elbow, top hand to come into a seated position. Legs crossed. Continue working on those hips. So from here, what we're going to do, different options. If you find that you leaning back, you have to place your hands back to support your spine. You can use your hands to lift up. You can also sit on a pillow to elevate your hips. It's going to help with your posture. So some of us will be right here, holding it here. Second option is to reach forward with the arms and to relax forward. We can use also a block, can use a pillow, can use books to place the forearms using different side of the block. If you want to go deeper, you can place your block in front of your right knee, flexing the left ankle, making sure that the entire ankle is on the block. You don't want to be here, then you putting strain on your ligaments. Make sure you put your full ankle on the block. So that's another option. So you're going to pick your option, and from here, option to lean forward, feeling the stretch in your left glute. And notice if you're lifting your hips, if you can press your tailbone down. Finding your breath again. Exhaling all the air out through the nose. Inhaling to the nose. Exhaling to the nose. Inhaling. Exhaling. Okay. Lengthening to the back. Maybe reaching the arms forward. Next exhale, walking the hands to the right. So we're stretching the hips and the low back. and back to center. And rolling up, inhaling. Left hand on right knee. Right fingertips behind the tailbone. Lengthening through the spine on the inhale. Exhaling, twist. Creating length in the spine as we twist. Using the hand against the thigh to twist a little bit deeper. Gazing towards the back of the room. Slowly releasing, back to center. Shaking our legs out. Crossing the other leg forward, front. Again, different options. You can hold it right here. You can have your hips elevated. You can lean forward. You can place a block and place your ankle on the block and lean forward. Lengthening the lower back, pressing the tailbone down. Walking the arms to the left. Holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Taking the time to roll up. Right hand on left thigh, left fingertips behind the tailbone. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, twist. Back to center. Shaking the legs out. Sit on all fours. And from here, cat and cow. Inhaling, we drop the belly. Expand the chest forward, gaze up. Tilt the tailbone on the inhale. Exhaling, we curl tailbone under. Round the upper back. Tuck the chin under, gaze between the knees. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling, cat. One more. Center. Let's end in a pigeon. But before we get into the pigeon, let me show you a modification. If the pigeon is bothering your knee, or it's just not for you today, get into your figure 4. So we did the figure 4 on the floor on our back. So sitting up, same thing. You can flex your right ankle, cross your ankle over the thigh, the left thigh. And then if you want to go deeper, you bring the foot closer to you, bring the hips close to the heel, and feel this right knee moving away from your chest as you push the chest forward. That's a really good stretch for your glute. It can also be pretty intense. If you want to get into the pigeon from all fours, we're gonna bring the right knee behind the right wrist, right ankle behind the left wrist. From here, we slide the left leg out. And if your hips are not coming all the way down, you can have a pillow, a block underneath your hips. Okay, you can hold it right here. Or you can press your hips down, avoiding tilting to the right. I see a lot of that. If possible, bring your left hip bone facing the mat. So imagine both hip bones have flashlights pointing down towards the mat. And we want to press the tailbone down, shoulders down. Option to hold it here. Option to place the forearms on a block, on the floor, and relaxing here. Remember, you should not feel any discomfort in your knee. If you feel any discomfort, if you're straining into this position, you cannot find any relaxation, get into your figure 4. Let's hold it for a few more deep, slow breaths. Bring the shoulders up. This time we can roll to the right side. Get onto all fours again, shaking the legs out. Working on the other side. Again, option to place a block underneath the left hip. You can just hold it right here. And if you're leaning to your left, this time bring your right hip facing down. We're gonna hold it right here. Option to place the shoulders down. And easing out of the position. Shaking the legs. Ending into a child pose, a wide child pose. Big toes together, knees as wide as the mat. Option to bring the hips down, chest down. If the hips are not going all the way down, you can be on your elbows, on your forearm. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, rolling up. Sitting up. Hands to heart center. So I invite you to comment under the videos. I invite you to check the information in the description below the video. I have links to other programs I host, so check them out. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want. And I'm going to leave you with this affirmation or this quote. And think about it today. Think about what it means to you. Whether you think you can't, it's whether you think you can or can't, you are right. Namaste.